So I decided to try a new brand of pergola in this backyard. I don't know where it is. We are just about done with our patio construction and I still don't have a pergola. I'm kind of disappointed. We've multiple times emailed them, we've multiple times called them. We have not been able to get in touch with them. So I have no clue what's going on with this pergola, but this is kind of like the pinnacle of this whole space. I designed the entire space around this particular pergola. Their online marketing did a great job to lure me into buying this pergola for this backyard. I don't know where it is. It's been months and it's been missing, and we had plenty of time leading up to this project and it's still not here. So when we first walked into this backyard, it was a swamp.
What are you doing in my swamp?
They had a plank of wood just leading back to their deck. There were holes in the deck. It was falling apart. We were well overdue for a new space. And so that's where I got to come in and help them figure out what that new space should be and what it should look like. Right here behind me, there's like some green X's right here on the ground. Those are where our pergola is going to be placed. If it ever shows up, we shall see. Well, that wasn't it. Oh, Danny, turn around. So what I'm walking on right now used to be a set of planks of boards. Now you can see this is some wonderful pavers and they can keep their feet dry. Because I remember the first time I came back here at the consult, there's holes in the deck and there was a platform right here that was going across and there was all this moisture in here. And as we were walking around, there was like water squeezing up through the planks. It was terrible. Terrible. You can see the HVAC units. So we put a door here, so they got storage there, they've got access to their HVAC, and they even have a place for their trash cans. And we finished the back there with that fence. That was the first problem that we had to fix. But then they needed a space where they could hang out. So we added a fire pit right here, and then Danny, look up and show them this pergola, because this thing is actually pretty sweet. As much issues as we had getting this thing, which we'll go into in just a minute, so stay tuned for that. This thing is actually pretty sweet. So if we roll this right here, you can see how I just closed these louvers. That's pretty cool. And then I open it back up. There's actually a gutter inside of this thing that goes down through these posts. That water drains down into our permeable pavers. It's a really, really cool setup that allows you to be in the rain, in the weather, and actually stay dry. So you can kind of pick and choose what level of shade you want, how you want to experience the elements. And it's very similar to the cigar lounge one that we actually just did. And you can check out the video right here. Danny will drop a nice little card for you guys to click on right there. So you can check that out, and that has a similar vibe. So that was a very important part of this feature. They wanted something that's clean, they wanted something that's modern, and I think we accomplished that with this pergola. So in a lot of these spaces, what we've talked about in some of our other videos is about drainage, and it's particularly the one we talked about with Jacob at Yorktown Materials. And again, Danny will give you guys a nice little card about that one. But this one was one of those, we talked about the walkway being in the water, but we had to kind of get to the heart of where that water was. And so you can see this downspout is going into a pipe and going under grade, and then you can also see that this downspout and that even that downspout on the other end are going under the grade and going out into the yard away from this space. And that's an important element to a lot of spaces, making sure that the drainage is taken care of. So this patio pitches ever so slightly to the back. All the roof water that normally would have been washing across the space is now going into a downspout and going out. So whenever you're trying to think through a space, make sure to kind of think, where's the roof water coming off the house? Where is it going to go? Where's the water on the flat surface going to go? And make sure that you're kind of keeping that in mind as you're laying out a space so that you don't end up with that squishy walkway that was here in the very start. And then the fire pit, we want to do something that's a little bit different. So if you notice, this has a certain level of gray and kind of some darker tones in these pavers. And then we did this darker border right here. And then we made these pavers larger and all just regular gray. And the idea is that this has some movement. When you're standing back here, when you come out the doors, that movement just kind of pulls you right into the space. So I see a lot more of this angular stuff starting to be the new trend in outdoors, something that's probably going to last for the next 30 years. So I'm trying to do things that are timeless still, but are not so much in your face that, hey, in 5 years, 10 years, that people are going to think, oh, this is outdated. So we've got fire pit, pergola, kind of open area to kind of hang out. And then this was the landing that you guys saw that was under construction at the time. He's already got his grill up here. We've got this beautiful landing right outside these doors. So now when they walk out, they have a place to hang out, they have a place to transition, and it opens right up into the yard. Now that we've seen all that, I have to tell you the story about this pergola. So as you know, we were waiting for this pergola for quite some while. We ordered it and it did not show up when they said it was. They told us that it would be like 6 to 9 weeks, you'll have your pergola. Well, then they switched it to like 16 weeks before you have your pergola, but then they reset the timeline. So here we are waiting for this pergola. We have completed the entire space. We're calling them, we're emailing them, we're looking for this thing, and we still cannot find out where this pergola was. It even was this thing where they said, hey, it's shipped, but we couldn't find it. So long story short is, we ordered this pergola, we waited forever for it. I guess you can still hear me, but now that guy's distracting me. I'm happy with how it turned out, but I don't think we'll order another one of these things because the effort that we went through to get this thing here, it's a Swedish company, starts with an H and ends with an O. That's pretty much as we'll say about it because I don't really want to talk bad about them. Well, actually, I kind of do want to talk bad about them. But I think we had like 6 different customer service reps while we were waiting for this thing to come. And it held up the closing of this project because we started this project in October. We delivered the project right before Christmas. And then we're sitting here waiting for our pergola. And we did not install this pergola until sometime in late March, early April. And now, what is it? It's May 18th right now. So a project that went way too long, that took forever to close out. We were finally able to close it out because of this pergola. We were waiting on it. Normally, I like to be able to wrap things up. I normally like to be able to take a project from start to finish inside of 10 weeks, from a start to finish. And instead, here we are, you know, we're inside of 10 months, right? So it's kind of frustrating that we weren't able to close out this job. And so I want to kind of highlight the issue with this is we ordered this pergola, we had this plan, a way that we wanted this whole project to go, but then things get in the way. Just goes to show that in the construction world, things get in the way all the time, but there's a happy ending to it. We're sitting here, we were enjoying cigars, enjoying some scotch with our client, and just having a wonderful time back here. More importantly, they love the space and they can't wait to do something next, but they want to add some more stuff out here. But for now, we're enjoying the space, they're enjoying the space, and I hope you guys will continue to follow along. They're enjoying the space. I don't like that transition. As always, get outside, my friends.